In what could only be described as the best series in Major League Baseball this year, the New York Yankees made a statement. We are back. What's going on, guys? It's the King of 161st Street. I'm back with another video, and Game 2 of this series was one of the best games that has been played in 2024. Back and forth, 3-0 Yankees, 3-3 Boston, 4-3 Yankees, 5-4 Boston. But the turning point in this game, and possibly the turning point of our season, came in the 8th inning. The bottom half of the 7th, Boston extended their 1-run lead to 2 off of a David Hamilton double. The Yankees come back in the top of the 8th with 1 out. Verdugo singles, Soto walks, Judge hits a double. Judge with 6 times being on base, 4 for 4 with 2 walks. He was magnificent. But that, to me, making it 8-7 right there, was the turning point, proving that this team still has fight no matter how long they have to. After a shutdown bottom of the 8th, the top of the 9th comes. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? Well, with 1 out, Ben Rice hits a double. Then with 2 outs, none other than Trent Grisham hits another double, ties this game, and the rest is history. Soto and Judge get on with 1 out, leading to an Austin Wells sacrifice fly, giving the Yankees a 9-8 lead. And then Gleyber Torres puts the cherry on top of the game with a 2-run double. This game proved the Yankees still have life and are still contenders in 2024. When their pitching decided to fail them again, if this was earlier in July or the end of June, you know what the Yankees would have done? They would have folded. You know what? We'll score our requisite 4, and then you know what? We'll get them tomorrow. This proved how much urgency there is in this ball club right now. Swings that we're getting from Alex Verdugo, Gleyber Torres, guys that have their jobs at stake. The fact that they came out of the break firing on all cylinders proves there finally is a sense of urgency in this team. We need that to translate to the pitching end, because other than Luis Gil and Garrett Cole, which Garrett Cole has been shaky as well, other than a select couple starts, we're not seeing much consistency out of this rotation right now. So hopefully that can translate. Game 2 was huge. And then Game 3, we finally get to see the debut of Jazz Chisholm Jr. If you want to see my thoughts on that trade, go check out my last video. Jazz in this game didn't have an impact early. The Yankees early on jump out to another big lead. After a Verdugo double, a Judge single, a Wells ground rule double, and Torres getting a clutch 2-out single, the Yankees jump out to a 3-0 lead for the second day in a row. But today, Carlos Rodon actually pitched great. He had a total of 3 bad batters in this entire game. Overall, this game was a great leap for Carlos Rodon. He's starting to incorporate that changeup far more than he was in the past. The fastball is still a bit of a problem, but it's not as much when you have a pitch like that slider that's tunneling with that fastball, along with a changeup. He was tunneling so well in this game. He had the Boston hitters off balance all night. Really, the only problems he had was when he steered away from the original game plan. You saw the original game plan was sparingly use your fastball, mainly go slider, changeup, then incorporate your fastball in between. In the inning where he got lit up by Rob Refsnyder, Connor Wong, and Rafi Devers had a long at bat, and then he ended up throwing a bad breaking ball, which let him hit the Green Monster. You had Connor Wong, where after Rodon was rattled off of the Refsnyder home run, he tries to throw a get-me-over breaking ball. He hits that out. And for Rob Refsnyder, he was really the only batter in this game Carlos Rodon gave a fuck you fastball to. That right there is an improvement. Usually, he starts off the game giving the first 3 batters fuck you fastball. In this game, he started off with his game plan. He needs to figure out a way to maintain his game plan. If he's going to throw those fuck you fastballs, they better be in the correct spot. He does not have the velocity to be throwing belly button high fastballs down the middle. He just doesn't have that type of game anymore. But overall, I was very impressed with what I saw out of Carlos Rodon, how he came back from that inning, was able to get a quick inning and then get into the 7th. That was huge for the Yankees bullpen, as they were heavily taxed in the first 2 barn burners. But Carlos Rodon made sure that this one did not turn into the barn burner, and it just turned into the Yankees demolition. Verdugo had another great game, going 2 for 4 with a double. He has been electric since coming out of the break. I'm hoping this continues, because when Verdugo's bat is on, especially in that leadoff spot, it creates so many more opportunities for this Yankees ball club. So if Verdugo can maintain this type of production over the course of the rest of the season, this team definitely will win this division, especially when you're getting production from top to bottom, especially from Anthony Volpe, who has been on fire. You also had production in this game from Ben Rice, who was able to use the other way and hit it into the left center gap to help extend the lead. His bat was big. And then you get to the trade acquisition, Jazz Chisholm. Jazz showing up to the ballpark 90 minutes before the game. Seemed like he had some flight delays that kind of hindered his ability to get to the ballpark on time. He was there, he was vibing with the team. It seems like there was just an aura around Jazz, that every time he was talking with Judge or talking with the hitting coach, there was always a smile on everyone's face around him. That's the type of energy that this Yankees team needs. During this losing streak, what's the main problem that has happened in that clubhouse? It seems like everyone's body language has been awful. Jazz Chisholm is the opposite of that. I was glad to see that it seemed like he was vibing in that dugout. Today, he batted 5th, playing in center field until they can find a true position for him. In center, he looked fine. He didn't have much to do. With the bat, understandably so, the first couple at bats, he looked a little rusty. And I think it might be due to the fact that he just got off a plane an hour before first pitch. You saw the adjustments that he made. With that final at bat, he brought up to Buster Olney that he said he was getting around the ball a little too much. He was trying to pull it. And the guys went up to him and said, hey, just try and focus up the middle. You could do anything when you focus up the middle. And so that's exactly what he did. He was able to hit it in between the shift and get himself his first Yankees hit. But that wasn't the only productive at bat he did. With no outs and a runner on second, he was able to hit a ground ball to the right side that moved the runner over. Something most people will overlook, but at least to us, we see the Yankees rarely get that type of productive out of their player. A high average and OPS with runners in scoring position. He will be huge down the stretch with his bat, but his biggest production in this game came with his feet, as after a collision with the shortstop that scared me for a second, because I was scared he did something to his legs, but he got smacked a little bit up in his jaw. The real way he's going to produce most of the time is with his leg. He is in the 99th percentile in base running value. Man on second, 1 out. DJ LeMahieu's up. Jazz just sees no one's covering third, so he just goes. Now, I understand there are going to be some people who say in a 7-2 game, there's a chance that that's bordering on bad sportsmanship. You know what I say to that? Fuck that. With the way this bullpen has been playing, that run could have been important. Like I just spoiled, DJ LeMahieu was able to get a fly ball to right field, scoring Jazz. Jazz will be fine. Jazz will be productive. I hope you don't judge Jazz's entire game just based off of what you saw in this game. He will be better having played with the team now, not having to come to the ballpark 90 minutes before first pitch. He will be ready, and that's when you'll see what Jazz is made of. This series exposed a lot about the Yankees, and it also shedded a light on a lot of good things the Yankees have. One of the things it showed that the Yankees need to improve on is bullpen arms. Even some of our most reliable guys got lit up in this series. Guys like Luke Weaver. And I have to talk about this for a second from game 1. I haven't talked about it much here because it's such a downer. Luke Weaver really pissed me off with his at-bat with Ceddanne Rafaela. He threw the fastball middle up, and Rafaela just gets underneath it. That brings it to 2 strike. But you saw Rafaela was right on that pitch, just a bit below it. Why in the hell, after that swing, did you think it was smart to go back to another fastball and put it in a more hitter-friendly spot for a guy like Ceddanne Rafaela, where that's his sweet spot? Middle in on the hands, where he could pull the hands in and get his barrel to it and put it over the green monster. That's exactly what he did. That made the game 7-6, and that led to Clay Holmes' collapse. This is what I'm talking about when I say mental lapses in the pitching end. Just simple fundamentals, knowing what's going on in the game. I don't know whose fault that was. I don't know if Weaver was calling this game for himself or if Austin Wells was calling it. Either way, someone should have stood up and been like, wait, that was too good of a swing on that fastball. Maybe let's go with a breaking ball here. Luke Weaver has not been the same since the All-Star break, and I am hoping that we get him back, because no matter what we do for this trade deadline, which I'm hoping we get a guy like Tanner Scott or a guy like Pete Fairbanks. Even if we do, Luke Weaver is still going to be an important cog in the machine. And if he is not able to step up like he did earlier on in the season, the back end of this bullpen is going to have problems, because he's basically the most trusted guy out there. After what he showed from April to June, he is now the most trusted guy in that bullpen. Once he starts to taper off, things start to fall off a cliff. That's when you have to go to Clay Holmes for 2 straight innings. That's where you have to go to Michael Tonkin more than you want to. That's where now you have to go to guys like Tim Hill and Jake Cousins more than you want to. Luke Weaver is a main cog in this machine, and I'm hoping he gets it back. The main thing it showed in this series is that this bullpen needs help. Brian Cashman needs to be on the phone. And I know pitching prices are they are skyrocketing. I don't know exactly why. Pitchers are not going to cost the number 20 prospect in our system. We're going to have to give up a lot to get a reliever. I don't know if Brian Cashman's going to be willing to part ways with a Roderick Arias, a top 5 guy in our system, to get a 1 to 2 inning guy in Tanner Scott or Pete Fairbanks. The price just may be too high. That's where pitching development now and just reassurance becomes key. We need guys like Luke Weaver and Michael Tonkin to step up and be the same force that they were when they first came over. Jake Cousins looked very good in these appearances that he had. Caleb Ferguson is actually starting to put a couple pieces together. I don't love his game still. If he could be more consistent from that left-handed side, he's also a guy who could be an X factor. But that's where this season is won or lost. Whether this bullpen can sustain for the rest of 162 plus the postseason. Either way, the Yankees have made a statement and now should have Baltimore shaking in their boots, because Baltimore had a chance to bury us. If Baltimore played at an average level, we'd be 6 games back with 2 months left in the season. But with this win, we are officially only 1 game back of Baltimore. Yes, we have a very tough series coming up against Philadelphia in Philadelphia. Hopefully, we can get good starts from Luis Gil, Garrett Cole, and Nestor Cortez. But with the way Baltimore is playing, I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the week, the Yankees are back at the top of this division. Because like I said in the beginning, this series was a statement to the rest of the league. Fuck what happened in late June and early July. This team is back. Anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. If you're new here, hit that sub button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and peace.